Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, my fellow Chiebits. Today, I'm here to bring you a anime review on Seraph of the End. And at the end, we have quite the cliffhanger. That cliffhanger is kind of terrible, because Mika versus Gurren is about to square off. They're about to fight each other. Because you see Gurren just put his sword up his cursed gear, and he's like, let's just do this. And when you see Mika's like, okay, I gotta prepare for this. And that's probably going to be how Yu is going to discover Mika. I'm willing to bet that this upcoming fight between Gurren and Mika is going to be how Yu finds out either A, he's going to find out through Gurren that Mika still exists, or B, Yu is going to go while they're fighting and get to talk with him. One of the other is probably going to happen, but this episode, wow, there is a lot of characterization and some more background information on Mika's situation, because as we know, he was turned into a vampire. He was turned into a vampire unwillingly. He didn't want to be one, he didn't want to be a vampire at all, and he was turned into one by the little vampire princess. Come to find out, the dude refuses to drink human blood in this episode. He does not want to drink human blood. So eventually, the princess decided to, just say, drink my blood. Slit her wrist, drink my blood, and he started drinking the princess's blood, the vampire princess's blood. So that right there is probably going to play a huge role, because, let's face it, she's, of nobility. She's a high up there class vampire. She's a high tier vampire. And she's lived for thousands of years, it's very obvious. And if a vampire, if I know my myths and different things I've seen for different stories and stuff, if a vampire drinks a noble's blood or a higher up vampire's blood, like for instance, the princess, they're going to get incredible power. So, we're probably going to assume, the way this ending was done, it was trying to make us assume that Gurren was going to destroy Mika. That's what it's trying to make us assume. But for Mika to be drinking the blood of the princess, and he just drunk a vial of the princess too, right before he got into this battle, you can assume he's going to be incredibly powerful. You can really assume that. Probably even more powerful than the average class vampire, because he is drinking the princess's blood. So, yeah, just want to point that out. He still refuses to drink humans' blood, so this kind of changes him from being, I guess, necessarily evil, so to say. He's not really, I guess, bad. A bad guy. I guess you can consider him a good guy. He's trying to find you and stuff, and the main thing I want to know, though, is why did the princess help him, and why is she specifically helping him? See, there's a lot of questions I have right now, because She goes out of her way to save this one boy that gets, cut down. She gives him her blood. He gets saved, and he didn't want to be a vampire. And then she goes out of her way to bring him a human. He rejects that human's blood. And then she decides to go up there, talk to him. And then after that, when he still refused her, she decides to slit her wrist and give him her blood. And that's kind of crazy to do for, someone of her status. And it makes me question, why would someone with such high power and high authority in the vampire ranks, why would someone like that do that for someone that just recently became a vampire, and someone that she obviously shouldn't care about, for what I know of? So, a lot of questions, why would she need a dog? She has this entire army backing her, and we saw her, lead an army and say, go attack the humans, go exterminate them. So we know she has a lot of authority, she can control troops, so why would she need Mika? And obviously she has to know about Mika's goals, so why? Why did she decide to help him? See, there's questions I have right now, because no one's going to do that without an ulterior motive. No one is going to do that. So is she going to try to fuck him over even worse, or is she actually a good person? There's a lot of questions. Who knows? Who knows? We might be shocked. Maybe the humans are the evil guys and the actual vampires are the good guys. Hey, yeah, we gotta factor this in too. Not all vampires are gonna be bad. That's gonna be very obvious in the series, because we gotta look at this. Not all humans are good, not all vampires are good. And not all of them are bad either, on both sides. So, you gotta remember that. Probably, the princess might have her own motives. Maybe there's something else going on in the background. So that's my theory crafting for that. So, we also come to find out that there's a doping pill that can make it to where the users of the cursed gear can synchronize with their cursed gear and gain exponential amount of power. come to find out, if you were to, let's say, take 10 pills, you'd be stronger than God, so to say, from Shinoa. But if you were to take over 2 pills, your organs would burst, like explode, like cherries, like, you know, fucking explode. And so, that's quite the problem. I guess you can't, you know, become strong as God, because then you'll die. Well, you'll probably die before you even get to that point. So, we come to find out if you take 2, it also still causes severe damage to your insides. So, you're still taking quite a bit of a risk if you take 2. So, it's best just to take 1 when you take this doping pill, but the after effects of it's actually the worst part. After you take the pill, it only lasts for 15 minutes, and then after that, you're down for the count, and you will not get back up. You will not get back up for a while, because you're just down. It's kind of like how Luffy is on with his Gear 2nd and Gear 3rd. When he uses it, you know, he kind of is down for the count for a little bit. It's kind of what that is, and so we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I mean, obviously, judging by the way it was said in this episode, it is where the humans, when they master their cursed gear, they can still continue to have that power. Because, judging by the way Shinoa said, is the power increases temporarily. And judging by the way she stated that, is that you can get to that point with your own personal strength if you were to master your cursed gear. So, yeah, I mean, quite a bit of foreshadowing here and there throughout this entire episode. Some set going on with some fights. And yeah, I mean, that's a great episode of Seraph of the End. So tell me your thoughts. I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.